board. Put my feet in the dirt and also water the soil. Eat problems for dinner, I'm screaming out, give me more. I know my future is brighter, that's why I gotta endure. Getting hot now, y'all gon' feel the burn. I was patient, I was waiting, now it's finally my turn. You ain't know, you gon' learn. You don't eat, you gon' starve. That's the reason every season I'ma keep on going hard. While I'm breathing, having reason to keep working for it all. Got a family to feed, I gotta be there when they call. Want the house with the lake, with the gates and the cars. Want the wraith with the stars, have it all before I'm gone. I want it all before I'm gone. Keep on grinding till the morn. If you're sleeping on me, keep on snoring. I want it all before I'm gone. I want it all before I'm gone. I am not somebody you can put inside a box, and I am not somebody who will let you take my spot. It's written on my face, I'm somebody who never stops. I do it because I gotta, I don't do it for your props. Nah, you can keep those. I'm aiming way higher than planes in Heathrow, and I'm sorry to say, but my cake can't be sold. And look, to be honest, either you got it or don't. But if you got a dream and a vision, put it in your mind that you gotta go out and get it. People try to stop you, it's so hard in the beginning, but you said that you a winner, so keep going, ain't no quitting. At this moment in time, I'm not just spitting lyrics, I'm giving you the words that put me in this position. Some people hear and some people listen. If you wanna be the best, then you gotta learn the difference. I want it all before I'm gone. Yeah, keep on grinding till the morn. Yeah, if you're sleeping on me, keep on snoring. I want it all before I'm gone.
There we go. Welcome to Blind Trekking, ladies and gents. We've got Rolling Bear at the moment. Faithful, loyal Rolling Bear in the chat. How's it going? For a Monday, everything's been slow. So, what did I miss today? Because I kind of was not really present on the internet much today.
Your Rebel Media.
Okay.
Did you see last week how they tried to confront Ilhan Omar over her banging the white dude?
Yeah, and how she, I saw about how she completely ignored them.
Right, and apparently today they tried to confront the white dude.
Oh, what happened there?
And he turned around, he hid in his office, basically.
Wonderful. That makes everything... You know, I'm not surprised. Most people run from Rebel Media. They actually discovered they're on Google Blacklist. So they called the Google executive, and they're like, what does it mean to be on your blacklist? And they're like, oh, nothing. It doesn't affect anything. That's more of just viewers that suggest things. We just put it there, and it's nothing. Don't worry about it. And they're like,
bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Bullshit. Let's see. Google Blacklist. Let's do some quick science on that, because usually that will mean that they're just not going to show up in searches. So, what's something recent they did a story about?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Take a look.
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, they did Ilhan Omar.
Jessica Yanis.
Ilhan Omar, let's just see, affair. And we'll just see what it comes up. Well, let me see how far down I have to go before I see Rebel Media, if I see them at all. Not on the first page.
Try just searching Rebel Media in quotations. And then do it on DuckDuckGo as a contrast.
Oh, in quotation marks,
Oh, Lauren.
When I do that, they come right up.
So Lauren Chan just put out a video, Chick-fil-A in Toronto, anti-gay. So after the stream, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Oh, yep, and that just showed up in my sub feed. I didn't even know I was still subbed to her.
Hey, Rosie.
Hello.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a $10 subscription to Rebel Media, or to Blaze TV. Because I'm totally being radicalized by all of the conservative media. Oh, I also just got that notification. Nice, Rosie.
I'm okay with you being radicalized as long as you're not radicalized into thinking that astrology is a real thing.
No, although I do have friends that, like, people I've known that'll be like, matter of fact, Maria is one of them. Maria, she was like, what are you? And I'm like, can't you tell? I mean, if astrology is real, you should be able to tell what I am by my personality. And she's like, well, I know you're a fire sign. And I'm like, okay, because I'm feisty.
What that means.
Usually that just means you're feisty. So I'm like, I'm an Aries. And she's like, oh, totally makes sense now. And I'm like,
Let's see.
4.
That proves that it doesn't.
Let me see what.
Well, I mean, yeah, feisty. I mean, astrology can be fun to, like, just, you know, read whatever they think. You know, it can be a fun thing to read, but to put full stock in it is, no.
Apparently not Pisces, whatever the fuck that means.
You're the 2 fish. Pisces is supposed to be the sign of love.
Ew.
Boy, they got that one wrong.
Yeah, can I change that? Can I change that?
My first wife was an Aquarius. I kept telling her, great, let's go get tanked.
Aquarius is a water sign too. It's also supposed to be love.
You got that one wrong too, huh?
I think, Trucker, you're a Leo.
Okay.
Leos are supposed to be fire sign, and they're also supposed to be mama's boys.
Well, so there's been
You a mama's boy, Trucker?
Rose's boy, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, astrology can be fun to, just to read and play with, but to actually put stock in it is another story.
See how completely fucking wrong it is?
Well, they're very general, so that some things are supposed to be common, so you feel like it does line up with you, because they're so vague that everybody's going to have something in common with whatever they are, so they feel like, oh yeah, this totally describes me. It's an old con artist grifter trick.
Yeah. Let's see what the traits of my son is. I'm trying to let's see. Two.
You're the two fish.
I know. Apparently. Blah blah blah.
Hi, Chloe.
Well,
That means he'll take any worm on a hook.
looking at my dating history, that's actually fairly accurate. Water sign brigade are all about feelings. They catch them a lot, and I hardly think so.
I think my name has more in common with me than my sign.
Well, I'm not one of the dangerous ones. Ruled by the planet Neptune. Okay, that's... What the fuck is this shit?
Like I said, it can be fun to play with, but... And I think actually what made astro signs popular, wasn't it Reagan's wife that used to do the what's your sign thing? Was it Reagan's wife?
I don't know.
It was...
Reagan was into it too.
Yes, okay, it was the Reagan era. Reagan's wife made what's your sign popular in the dating sphere.
No, I think those others.
Well, that's just completely not true. Mystical, romantic, elusive, imaginative, pleasure-seeking, read drunk. Well, okay, you know what? Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
There we go.
Well, the biggest problem that throws that whole mess into the wind. Supposedly, Leos hate the drive.
Well, they got you wrong. Oh, damn it. Fuck off. 1 minute. I gotta make this incessant beefing stop.
Very romantic sign, not really. So far, they're like 1 for 10.
That's something we've never done on Blind Trucking. Horoscopes.
Yeah, this is...
Hey, Green. Good old
See if you can
horoscopes.
guess my sign. See if I can guess Green's sign. Whichever one is the degenerate.
We'll
It's cancer.
well, that or maybe he's the virgin. That would be Virgo.
God damn it.
Oh, man.
Empathetic, kind of. Depends on who it is. For the most part, no. This is... Okay, yeah, this has killed enough brain cells for today.
Damn, I was gonna say, if you would have given me a few more minutes, I could have smoothly transitioned into a funny article that I saw. Keep talking.
Well, then let me pull that page back up.
Yeah, just keep talking for a minute. It makes it seem like my computer isn't taking longer than it is to load.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius.
Oh, you're a Libra.
Aquarius.
Neptune holds sway over a mixed bag of human activity, drama, dance, poetry, addiction, hypnosis, institutions, and poison. That is not a...
Hey, that's a pretty accurate description of you. I mean, your BDSM test, plus you like alcohol, you're a smoker, so addictive, you know. Yeah, I could, I mean, some of that, you're, I could see you being a bit of a party animal in your military days, so,
yeah. Yeah, it kind of still is a thing, but not nearly as much as it was. But yeah.
There you go. Oh, come on. How many things did I share today? How far down on my page do I have to go? Oh, I saw there was a funny meme today that says, "Dear USA, we've taken the NBA championship and the US Open. You can have both back if you just please return the Stanley Cup unharmed. Sorry, Canada."
That would be a ransom note that Canada would write.
It is. It really is.
But no, that's ours. Because you see what America does in our sports. We don't show up to do well for ourselves in a sport we don't care about. We show up to embarrass the people who do care about it.
Yeah, except that a lot of the players that are on the team. Yeah, but the problem with hockey is that a lot of your hockey teams have Canadian players, so.
Yeah, that being said, I actually do watch hockey when I get the chance to.
Hells yeah. All right. Now, if it'll load, that would be great.
Bill sounds like he's in a different room to his mic. You sound like you're in a different room to your mic.
Oh, is my audio doing that thing again? I have the audio settings the same every day, and for some reason, I have to switch them for no good reason.
Let's check. Penis. Penis.
Vagina?
I'm testing because I've got this.
Cock nugget.
Okay, yeah, I'm echoing. Let me turn gain down. I think it's about as dead as I can go. Volume down.
So, this article, which it's in a pranks section, so don't take it too seriously, but some stranger padlocked this guy's earlobe and ran away with the key.
Fucking nice.
And
Beautiful.
as you can see, he looks real happy about it.
By the way, that is the proper reaction to whenever you see someone with those fucking gauges. Just throw a padlock in there and run.
Oh, and his name sounds like he deserved it. It sounds like a very unlikely thing to happen, but Tom Grimm Fandango Matthews, as his name appears on Facebook.
That is just the worst name on the planet.
His name appears like that on Facebook, claims he was totally unaware that someone locked a padlock to his earlobe.
How are you not aware of that? Would you not immediately notice the weight? Just like, oh wow, I suddenly have a lot more weight on this ear?
Yeah.
Stoner.
I think you would notice that.
Stoner. The guy says he didn't notice it at all until it was too late. He just heard a click in his flashy tunnel. In his fleshy tunnel. What? He heard a click in his fleshy tunnel, and that was it? That's just a weird sentence.
A tunnel is what those kind of gauges are called, where it's the technically its gauges are the closed ones, tunnels are the open ones.
Oh, okay. He later posted a photo on his social media account and angrily captioned it this way. So guess what some little wankstain just did to me? If I find you, I will put you 6 feet under. End of rant, cunt. Which is just freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Looking at that guy, he'd probably overdose on water, so I wouldn't be too afraid.
Literally having a fag out back. Literally, they came out, heard a click, turned around, realized there was a padlock on my ear, and tried to chase him. He, however, found very little sympathy for his plight. In fact, many people actually took the chance to make fun of him. One of his buddies commented, "Get yourself to the DIY shop and give him a $5 to cut it off." Another one wrote, "I can pick locks. 10 pounds an hour, though."
I wonder if he would have noticed a string in that lock and that guy running away from him, if he was hoping that string was loose or tied.
Yeah, I just.
He'd have to keep up with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, he looks like he fucking deserved it. He really does.
Yeah.
He looks like the psychopath kind of rage. But I thought that was kind of some fun humor. Okay, I have more things. One of these days I'll get a faster computer so that there'll be a smooth transition between said things.
Rolling Bear's right. Tunnel sounds like he has a few boyfriends. Yeah.
Yeah. Really does. Oh yeah, somebody posted this on my Facebook because they thought it was funny. They said dragonflies are bosses because female dragonflies fake their death to avoid males.
So they're women.
So yeah. So it turns out that females in dragonflies are just as dramatic as human women are.
Yeah, pretty much. And of course, you know, I'm sure females are gonna be like, see, even in nature, there's the patriarchy. Oh God, the patriarchy in nature.
Lord help them females if the males ever catch on to what they're doing.
Oh, that is so true. Oh God, Chloe, move your ass. She just decided to sit on me, and it's just making my foot go numb. Alright. There was something else I had here. Apparently, according to... Oh, yes, there we go. According to CBC News, there's a bunch of drunk raccoons all over the place.
Nice.
Drunk raccoons seen stumbling around Stittsville, which is just hilarious. Normally nocturnal animals, likely overindulged on fermented fruit, naturalist says, and I guess that's why they're drunk. So yeah, inebriated raccoons have been spotted stumbling around Stittsville and sleeping off their hangovers in broad daylight, residents say. On Monday, Emily Rogers arrived home to find one of the normally nocturnal creatures nearly knocked out in her southwest Ottawa backyard. He couldn't really move. He was dragging his legs. He was wobbling, having a hard time standing up. You could tell he was clearly drunk and something was wrong with him for sure, which is just hilarious. After watching the raccoon for several hours, Rogers called 311 and city workers came to remove the animal. The previous day, Julie Fong? I guess she's Asian. Had a similar experience when a bylaw officer came to her door seeking access to the backyard. There had been a call about a raccoon in the area that appeared intoxicated. So that's why this guy was kind of sleeping it off under our deck. There was a drunk raccoon under our deck. So,
Damn.
yeah. This apparently is newsworthy for Stittsville.
Damn, those damn coons getting drunk, roaming around town, lowering our property values.
Down
Yeah.
in Florida, the places that process oranges and all will give farmers the pulp and peels and stuff off oranges, and they take them out there, and the cows, dig through them. Well, after about 3 or 4 days, they ferment. Then you got a bunch of drunk cows.
Yes.
Ooh. Drunk cows sounds like me at a bar during last call.
I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah. Just give me 2 seconds.
Dead air.
Sorry. All right.
Dead air.
Sorry, Patrick likes to text me during my stream for reasons of unknown proportions.
Because he's a chode.
To make you drop everything and answer him?
Yes.
And you're falling for it?
Yes. Well, it was slightly important things, which he ignores me all day and ignores my phone calls and doesn't return them, and then just suddenly, poof, answers. And the thing is that once he answers me this one time now, he won't answer me again until tomorrow at a random time. So it's like really hard to have a conversation with somebody when that happens.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you have to make time-sensitive plans with someone who will respond to you like hours later.
Yes, that's exactly what's happened. So tomorrow is school picture day. And I said, could you please take him out of IBI tomorrow and put him in school because it's picture day? And he goes, no, I think you should stay in IBI. And I'm like, but I want school pictures. Could you not
And that's why he's not doing it, just because...
Because he's a contrarian when it comes to me. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Trucker sent me this today, which is super awesome. Google faces a new antitrust probe by 50 attorneys generals. So basically, was it 50 states are investigating him now?
49
states in the U.S. Yeah.
So, good news, everyone.
Yes. 50 attorneys general are joining an investigation into Google over possible antitrust violations. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, the initiative's leader, announced Monday. The news confirms reports last week about the bipartisan investigation into Google's practices. The probe includes attorneys general from 48 states, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico. California and Alabama are not involved in the probe, Paxton said at a press conference.
Of course, California is the one that isn't involved.
Because usually everything is in
Well, yeah, because it's based in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other attorneys general at the media conference emphasized Google's dominance in the ad market and use of consumer data. And actually, Tulsi Gabbard commented on this today, saying that when she launched an ad campaign, Google ended up suspending her account, and then after all the prime time for all the ads were going, then they gave her account back. And when they asked them why and what happened, they never gave her an answer.
Of course.
And so Tulsi Gabbard thinks it was to hurt her campaign and running for 2020.
It absolutely was.
Oh, absolutely. And she's like,
fuck that benefit of the doubt shit. That's absolutely what it was for.
Well, and her logic, she actually said this. She said, you know what? If somebody like me can be hurt by Google, the little guy, who doesn't have as much power to investigate as I do, is going to get totally bulldozed by Google. She's like, I can't let that happen. And I'm like, I can get behind that. I can get behind that logic. She's like, if somebody in Congress can get bulldozed by Google, she's like, what about the little guy? And I'm like, well, there's a lot of people that have been saying that for a while. I guess now when it finally happens to a leftist, people are taking note.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but remember when it was when they were doing that shit with like Milo Yiannopoulos and Steven Crowder and stuff. Oh, that's just and Alex Jones. Oh, it's just a right wing. That's just a right wing conspiracy theory. And the best part is now like big tech isn't even trying to hide it anymore.
No, they're not.
There's blatantly open about it. It's like, yeah, this is what we're doing. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yep. So when there is no longer a free market or competition, this increases prices even when something is marketed as free and harms consumers, said Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody, a Republican. Why do you, like, the first Attorney General they talked about, they didn't name their political leaning, but then when a Republican does it, they have to put behind their name a Republican. Like, what is that? Like, okay, whatever. Is something really free if we are increasingly giving over our privacy information? Is something really...
Remember, when the product is free, you are the product.
Yeah, is something really free if online ad prices go up based on one company's control? An antitrust probe into Facebook was announced on Friday by New York Attorney General Letitia James, who will... There's actually an Attorney General named Letitia? Okay.
I'll be goddamned. You can get jobs with the most ridiculous names.
Yes, who will lead the case.
Yeah. Usually a name like that, you see that on an application that just goes straight in the trash can.
Yeah, or Ladashas.
Sharquisha. I've actually seen that name before.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, wow.
I've actually seen that name too, but only at McDonald's. Attorneys General from...
Still got you all beat. Still got you all beat. With
Okay.
your Rainy Shamply.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's when it's just like, you know what? Fuck this kid.
Yeah, attorneys general from 7 states, plus the District of Columbia, are participating in the Facebook investigation. At the press conference Monday, D.C. Attorney General Carl Racine, a Democrat. Okay, so you're going to name them too, okay? Said it remains to be seen if the two probes will be a coordinated expansion. Well, I hope so. I mean, if you can't even be bipartisan and taking down Google, like, what the hell? You got to play nice sometimes. Just saying. Shares of Google parent company Alphabet of Google parent company Alphabet were down about 0.9% around the time of the announcement. When reached out for comment, a Google spokesperson pointed to a company blog post published Friday where it acknowledged it had received requests for information from the Department of Justice about its business practices and expects State Attorney General will ask similar questions. We have always worked constructively with regulators and we will continue to do so, Google said in Friday's post. I mean, I guess the state investigations... Hey, Cryptic. The state investigations put an additional layer of pressure on both companies, which are already facing antitrust scrutiny on the federal level. Facebook confirmed an antitrust probe by the Federal Trade Commission in July after the agency slapped it with a $5 billion fine, over its privacy practices. And the Department of Justice will conduct its own antitrust investigation into Google, according to the Wall Street Journal. The attorneys general involved in the Google probe said their investigation would remain independent from those of other areas of government. The state attorneys general, they are an independent branch, Racine said, and they can be quite tenacious. So I'm very confident that this bipartisan group is going to be led by the facts and not be swayed by any conclusion that may fall short, if you will, if it's inconsistent with our facts on the federal side. So we're going to do what we think is right based on our investigation. So far, regulatory action on the federal level has had a minimal impact on big tech. The FTC recently imposed fines on both Google and Facebook over their handling of user data that would be considered large by most standards, but represented just a small fraction of their quarterly revenues. So in other words, they're not really going to care because, whatever. I guess to those companies, $5 billion isn't that big of a deal.
Oh, yeah, that's probably chump change for them.
But antitrust, compared with privacy and consumer protection concerns, poses a more direct threat to these companies' business models if the federal or state probes find evidence of anti-competitive behavior at Google. For example, the company could be compelled to make its algorithms friendlier to rivals, even if that eats at its own profits. It could also be forced to spin off entire business units, such as YouTube. Doug Peterson, Nebraska's Republican Attorney General, said he looks forward to working with the U.S. Justice Department as well as international authorities. It really is significant, the fact that you've got the UK, France, Australia, and European Commission looking at this, all indicate that this is a significant issue. The focus on Google and Facebook by the state attorneys in general does not mean other tech giants such as Amazon and Apple will be free from scrutiny. Sources told the Journal last week that the investigation could expand to other companies as well. Yay.
All right.
All right, let's check out chat, see what everybody's saying. God damn it.
Cryptic wants us to put Piranha in Scotty's underwear, apparently.
That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, that probably would be. I will be right back.
Okay. That would be for science. Cryptic, this is the excuse we could give for science. Just saying. Science is good. Alright, I got more things. I just have to find said things. So I thought this article was rather funny. Russia accuses Facebook and Google of interfering in its elections. just could this be classed as just irony? Could this be classed as irony? I think it could be. A Russian state communications watchdog has blamed Google and Facebook for allowing political advertising during Sunday's regional elections, despite a ban on the same. Such actions can be seen as interference in Russia's sovereign affairs and hindering the conduct of democratic elections. The watchdog said the election was seen as a setback for the ruling party, which supports President Putin. Oh, grab Trucker and bring him back. Why is your name a bunch of @ signs? Yeah, like what the...
Why not?
Because he can.
I mean... Hong Kong protesters start singing the Star-Spangled Banner and call on President Trump to liberate the city.
Be the America Hong Kong thinks we are.
Yeah, I guess.
I
U.S.
approve of that.
Rosie?
I approve of that.
Yeah. I mean, do you think the U.S. should have a hand in helping liberate Hong Kong?
When the people are sitting there, almost begging us, yes.
Yeah.
Truth be known, do we have any actual right to do it? No.
Yeah.
So, former U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis said on Monday, anti-government protests in Hong Kong were not an internal Chinese matter and that the United States should offer at least moral support to the demonstrators. Moral support? What does that look like? We believe in you? Go for it? Like,
You just
Yeah,
yell
pretty
motivational slogans through a megaphone at them.
I think they might need a little bit more than just thumbs up, guys. Like,
Well,
former...
they're gonna have Rob Schneider sitting on a fence going, "Go ahead, Hong Kong, you can do it."
I believe in you.
Don't trust China, the asshole.
Yeah, but do you want to start other than a trade war with China?
I mean,
China's economic infrastructure actually cannot afford a war.
We can't
Considering the primary holder of U.S. debt is China, neither can we.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not with them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I actually agree with Scotty. Let's just swap Hong Kong for California.
Yeah, there you go.
former U.S. Secretary of Defense General Jim Mattis speaks at Reuters Newsmaker event in New York, September 9th, 2019. The retired U.S. Marine General speaking at a Reuters Newsmaker event in New York said the United States should generally side with those standing up for human rights, which he said included the Hong Kong protesters. When people stand up for those rights, I just inherently think we ought to stand with them, even if it's just moral. Who abruptly resigned as Pentagon chief in December over disagreements with President Donald Trump's foreign policy. This is not an internal matter, Mattis said in remarks likely to irritate Beijing, which has denounced the sometimes violent protests and accused the United States and Britain of fermenting unrest in the former British colony. Trump has previously described the protests as riots, but has also called on China to end the discord in a humanitarian way. He said a crackdown could make his efforts to end a damaging trade war with China very hard. Mattis said China's effort to pass a law to allow people in Hong Kong to be extradited to mainland China was in breach of the one country, two systems formula under which British control of Hong Kong was ended in 1997. They said it would be two systems and that extradition law was a violation of that, said Mathis, who is promoting a new memoir about his role in the U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Although the extradition bill was withdrawn last week after months of unrest, the mass protests in streets and public places across Hong Kong continue, having grown into a broader pro-democracy backlash against the Chinese government. Protesters marched outside the U.S. consulate in Hong Kong over the weekend, urging Trump to help liberate the city. Hong Kong police fired tear gas to disperse the crowds. We have to be careful. We don't want to say we're going to land the 82nd Airborne Division in Hong Kong to do this, he said. But morally, yeah, I think we have to stand with them. In his nearly 2 years as Defense Secretary, Mathis had tried to forge a relationship with the Chinese military, worried that tense relations between the two countries could boil over into conflict. I mean, what do you do when China will sign agreements and then just blatantly say fuck it and disregard them? Like, what can you do at that point? Nothing?
I really can't answer that. Cause you'd think that would have been something that everyone would have learned a long time ago, is not to trust China. But
yeah, because I mean, China will make agreements and then just breach those agreements whenever the fuck they want to anyways. They'll just sign them to shut up other countries and then do what they want anyways.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing for decades, but because there's such a power on like the world economic stage that no one has the sack to stand up to them.
Well, Canada tried to, and they arrested a bunch of Canadians and threatened to kill them. So, you know. Yeah,
that's other shit that China does.
Yeah, and then after that,
Roland Bear says in the chat, to China the humanitarian way is rolling in the tanks.
Yeah, pretty much like
Tiananmen Square 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, like, and then after that, Canada then went, you know what? We're just gonna illegally buy your steel and fuck over our industry because it's cheap and stuff. It's like, on one hand we cross them, and on the next minute we kiss their ass while they're holding a bunch of Canadian citizens. So like. Fuck China. Just blow them up. God damn it.
I agree. Fuck China.
China.
China!
Man snoozes while driving Tesla on autopilot.
Well, what else are you going to have the autopilot for?
A driver was spotted driving a black Tesla on autopilot and snoozing in the car on the Massachusetts Turnpike. The car, which was on cruise control, was traveling at 55 to 60 miles per hour. The video of the incident was captured by sports journalist Dakota Randall. Yeah.
Tesla, for when you're really tired or you're drunk. It's got the autopilot.
But when you buy one of those autonomous cars, you sign an agreement that you must stay alert and your hands on the wheel at all times.
Yeah. Which is weird because I'm surprised that he was even able to do that because when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, Elon Musk said that they'd put in like stuff into the car that to like make sure that like you weren't asleep, like it would vibrate the seat a lot heavily to wake you up and stuff.
Oh, you kidding? There's people screwing in the damn car. You told me they're actually paying attention to the road.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
I'm assuming these are self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly self-driving.
Yeah, but they keep running into shit.
Yeah.
So they're self-wrecking cars.
Yeah.
So Kamala Harris now has a criminal justice reform plan, and it's totally explained in this wonderful Vox.com article.
Oh God.
The plan counters criticisms she's received about her record as a local prosecutor and California Attorney General. Democratic presidential candidate, well, not anymore. Isn't Kamala Harris gone?
No.
Oh, no, that's the other one.
Gabbard.
Yeah, fuck all these names, man. Kamala Harris.
No, not Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard. What's Gillibrand.
Oh, okay, there we go. Gillibrand, yeah.
The really cringy one.
So Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris on Monday released a criminal justice reform plan that would attempt to undo mass incarceration and the war on drugs, and can also be read as a rebuke of critics of Harris's record as San Francisco's district attorney and California's attorney general. Harris's plan includes a litany of ambitious goals: legalize marijuana, abolish mandatory minimum sentences, and the death penalty and solitary confinement. Wait, what? Okay, and solitary confinement, stop private prisons, get rid of cash bail, and leverage the president's clemency powers to reduce the number of people in federal prison. So just put dangerous people back on the street, because that's always a good thing. Like, I think the only thing I agree with in that paragraph is private prisons. Because aren't private prisons kind of a bad thing? You know what I think about this, Trucker?
That is one of the biggest arguments. That is one of the biggest arguments about private prisons, if they should exist or not. The problem with private prisons is the fact that if you don't want to go into a private prison, well, don't break the law.
True.
Yeah, it's like that scene from whatever it was. Stop
Liar,
breaking
liar.
the law, asshole!
Jim Carrey's Liar Liar, which, I mean, I denounce Jim Carrey as a human being at this point. He's just a terrible person. It takes aim at decades of failed policies that created an unjust, unequal, and
That
vastly...
she was more than willing to support. That she was more than willing to support back when she was a prosecutor.
expansive system that disproportionately harms communities of color and criminalize individuals just because they are poor. No, it's because they break the law. With her plan, Harris joins other candidates who have released criminal justice reform proposals, including Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Cory Booker, and Amy Klobuchar. Harris's ideas generally line up with what the other candidates have put forward in an attempt to end mass incarceration. But in Harris's case, as was true for Biden and Klobuchar, the plan is also a response to critics who argue that as a local prosecutor and state attorney general, she was part of the same system they see as in need of reform. Plus, they also just found out that she withheld evidence to put people in jail without due process. So, shut the fuck up. Harris's record on criminal justice issues is truly mixed. As a U.S. Senator for California, she has consistently been a champion for reform, up to supporting the First Step Act, which President Donald Trump signed into law, and introducing legislation such as her proposal for nationwide bail reform to change the system. So in other words, poor people can't afford bail, and that is oppressive to poor people. So let's just not make bail a thing.
And by the way, when it comes to Kamala Harris, no matter what, whenever she comes up, it has to be said, it must be said that the only reason she's actually, or her start in politics came because whose dick she sucked, not what she did.
Not surprised.
Well, yeah. That's unfortunate. As district attorney and later attorney general, she pushed for programs that helped people find jobs instead of putting them in prison, but also fought to keep people in prison even after they were proved innocent. She refused to pursue the death penalty against a man who killed a police officer, but also defended California's death penalty system in court. She implemented training programs to address police officers' racial biases, but also resisted calls to get her office to investigate certain police shootings. So in other words, she's just a big motherfucking hypocrite, even by Vox's standards.
Well, the problem is, when it comes to this stuff, it's just sitting there saying she'll have some stuff investigated, but wouldn't. They won't mention it tended to be across racial lines.
Yeah. Harris's campaign has gone to great lengths to paint her as a progressive prosecutor and emphasize the more progressive parts of her record, but the other side of her tenure in the criminal justice system has also drawn high-profile criticism, including at the most recent Democratic debate. With the rise of Black Lives Matter and criminal justice reform in general getting more and more attention and support from Democrats, how Harris comes out on this question may be crucial to her chances of capturing the White House. So just as much as her new plan is a policy document, it's also a political one and could help decide whether she becomes the Democratic nominee for president. I really hope she doesn't.
I don't think she will. I think she's probably seen as too radical by most of the party.
I hope so.
I'm still pretty sure that I'm still betting that either Warren or Biden is going to be the one who gets the nomination.
Imagine having to listen to Elizabeth Warren talk all year.
I'm really glad I don't have TV because I would probably kill myself.
Like, her voice is less, awesome than mine. Like, my voice can be pretty annoying, but hers is worse, so that's pretty sad.
Her voice is worse than mine.
Alright, let's check out chat. Let's see what's going on. Yo, Big Drew, what's up? Hey, Elowen. Look at that. We got more peoples in chat now. Woohoo! The familiars. I should click like on my own stream. That would be really cool. It's like, oh yeah, I should maybe give myself an interaction. That would be super awesome of myself. Wait, what the hell? I hope she does. Trump would win 45 of 50 states. Why didn't I get a hello? Oh, hey, Scotsman. You got a hello way earlier when we were talking about putting piranhas in your pants. I agree with this idea.
Underwear.
You know, I mean,
Major distinction.
I'm sorry, Scotty. If you're feeling left out, just be aware that all the clips I have that are funny are from you. Just saying. So, you know, don't feel
My
left out.
opinion is Scotsman love hairy cocks and how it tickles on my cheeks.
Aw, thank you, Big Drew.
This is great.
Yeah, just, you know, you're a favorite person.
I just got bullied instead. Hey.
Crown, my opinion is Scotsman love cock rings, mine is a big hole.
It's okay, Scotty, you can take it.
I'm sure he does a lot of taking.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, that's right. I have something from Math Queen that she sent me yesterday that I didn't see until today. So...
You want to dislike? Don't be a chode, Scotty. It's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
That deserves a dang, too. There we go. Alright, let's see.
Oldie but a goldie. So we have something from Math Queen?
Yes. Man streams chase before Minnesota police fatally shoot him. Richfield man ran a red light and didn't pull over for police. Continued to run red lights while live streaming the chase. Police forced the car to stop, and the man emerged with a knife and refused to drop it. Ended with his death. No officers were injured. Okay, that's very interesting.
I've actually seen a few videos like that where there's people live streaming themselves running from cops.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
I don't either.
This is a thing. Alright, so yeah, man streams chase before the Minnesota police fatally shoot him. Police near Minneapolis shot and killed a driver following a chase after he apparently emerged from his car holding a knife. The chase started late Saturday night in Edina and ended in Richfield, with officers shooting the man Brian J. Quintons, who had streamed himself live on Facebook during the chase. Police responded after I'm just going to call him Q-Man. Q-Man ran a red light and wouldn't pull over, the Minneapolis Star-Tribune reported. According to emergency dispatch audio, Q-Man continued running through red lights in Richfield. So yes, thank you, Math Queen. Look at that. That was, you know.
What date was this? What's the date for this article? Because I watched a video a little bit ago that was almost exactly that.
September 8th.
September 8th. Okay, so that was yesterday. Then, yeah, it was different incident. Yeah, I love how he chose to go on a high-speed chase and end up getting shot instead of just a $50 ticket.
It would have been more than a $50 ticket.
Oh, yeah, but you get my point, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what better evidence to give the cops than stream it on Facebook?
I know, right? I always love that when people like live stream them doing illegal shit and then act as if everyone's going to be on their side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never a good thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. With all the sovereign citizen footage we have, it's because they took that footage and uploaded it themselves because they thought people were going to be on their side.
Yep. It's called stupidity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
stupidity.
The Flynn thing says that people are getting more intelligent, but
I sincerely doubt that. No, there's no way in hell people are getting more intelligent.
they call it the Flynn effect. Oh, we lost the tracker again.
Truck down, truck down.
It's okay. He'll find us again. Do. Alright, so... Oh, shit. I find an article and I have to open it into another browser. It's always very irritating. I should just start emailing all of these different websites and papers and stuff and be like, hey, you're not accessible. You can't. I gotta open you up in a new browser. I have to switch.
You bunch of ableists.
Exactly. Like, some of them work in Chrome and some of them work in Safari. And I'm just like, could y'all just universally work with my screen reader, please? Scientists discover...
I can't believe that's not... I really can't believe that's not like a standardized thing by now.
Agreed. Scientists discover new evidence of the asteroid that killed off the dinosaurs.
Ooh. Science and dinosaurs.
New rock samples in Mexico show how a city-sized asteroid wiped out dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Drilling into the seafloor of Mexico, scientists have extracted a unique geologic record of the single worst day in the history of life on Earth, when a city-sized asteroid smashed into the planet 65 million years ago, wiping out the dinosaurs and 3/4 of all other life. Their analysis of these new rock samples from the Chicxulub crater made public Monday reveals a... do I have to click on something? Oh man, it's only gonna let me read half of it.
Oh, is it? Oh, what, did they put the other half behind a paywall?
Yeah, they did, I think.
Bunch of fucks.
Oh no, I can do it in another app. Okay.
No, I won't turn off my boulder blocker.
Yeah, so their analysis of these new rock samples from the whatever the fuck crater. Oh, we got Trucker back. What is it?
Sorry, my phone has started overheating.
Oh, no worries. Made public Monday reveals a parfait of debris deposited in layers almost minute by minute at the heart of the impact during the first day of a global catastrophe. It records traces of the explosive melting, massive earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, and wildfires as the immense asteroid blasted a hole 100 miles wide and 12 miles deep, the scientists said.
Jesus.
The sentiments also offer chemical evidence that the catalysm blew hundreds of billions of tons of sulfur from pulverized ocean rock into the atmosphere, triggering a global winter in which temperatures worldwide dropped by as much as 30 degrees Fahrenheit for decades, the scientists said. It tells us what went on inside the crater on that day of doom that killed the dinosaurs, said Jay Malosh, a geophysicist at Purdue University who studies impact craters and wasn't a member of the drilling team. All of this mayhem is directly recorded in the core. The scientists in the drilling consortium, led by geophysicist Sean G. Mann, because I can't pronounce that name, at the University of Texas in Austin, who was co-chief of the $10 million project, published their research in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The project was sponsored by the International Ocean Discovery Program and the International Continental Scientific Drilling Program. I guess it doesn't make climate change look all that bad now, does it? Guys? Uh-oh. Alright. Did everybody in YouTube hear that, or did I just get kicked off of everything? Oh, okay. Apparently I'm back now. Now you're... Thanks. I don't know how much of that story you guys heard. However, I'm having problems loading StreamYard, so give me a second.